As a builder in Minecraft, there is nothing I enjoy more than experimenting with new blocks added by new updates. That being said, Minecraft 1.16's first snapshot recently released, bringing tons of new blocks, features, and more. Let the experimentation begin. My name is SystemZ, and here are a few building tips and tricks for the Nether update. If you enjoyed the video, consider becoming a member, where you'll gain access to awesome community perks, like being invited to my Minecraft server. And the best part is you'll be supporting me and my channel along the way. Click the join button below for more information, and as always, here is today's Tier 3 shoutout. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Before we get started, a large portion of my viewers are currently unsubscribed. So if you like what you see and you enjoy my videos, consider subscribing. It's completely free and you'll even be notified whenever I upload a video. Welcome to today's video. Today we're checking out Minecraft 1.16 build hacks, which as you can see we have got quite the lineup. I mean, keep in mind, this is only the first snapshot of Minecraft 1.16 and there has been so much added. So much, in fact, that we need to jump right on into it. So that being said, the first build hack or tips or tricks that you could get from this particular snapshot is, of course, Basalt Paths, or however you like to say the word. Now, honestly, this is probably the most common. I've seen this everywhere, and that's why it's included at the very beginning, just to go ahead and get it out of the way. But if you haven't seen it, it uses a variation of basalt and blocks of netherite, as well as some concrete, which you can see here are the textures here, mixed around to create a very lovely path that you could not previously do. And honestly, I've got to say, this looks amazing, especially when paired to the next build hack, which, as you can see, is pine trees and apples. Now, I've got to say, this is probably one of my favorite things that you can do in Minecraft 1.16. It is absolutely the most stunning tree that we can currently build in vanilla Minecraft. It is amazing. Now, the way I've done this is I've essentially taken the normal technique of building a pine tree. Now, I've got a couple of tutorials, granted they're very old, of how to build trees on my channel, so consider checking them out if you want to know how to build this. But the main centerpiece here is that it's created using basalt blocks, which, as you can see, works perfectly as a pine wood. I think this is amazing. I think this is beautiful. And honestly, I have some plans to build a forest using this very tree. I think this is beautiful. Now, honestly, I'm not, I don't even know what to say here. Apples don't grow on pine trees. That's what I was trying to say. And I just kind of wanted to do it for the example because Cetacean, a member of my Discord community, which you can join using the link in the description below, it's completely free and public, come on over, we're waiting for you. Cetacean threw out the idea of using weeping vines, the new weeping vines, as apples. Now, honestly, I was a little bit skeptical at first, but as you can see, it works perfectly. If you throw some string under them, they'll keep them from growing as well, so they'll be stuck like this. And honestly, it looks amazing. You just might want to do it on an actual apple tree. Next up, we've got none other than palm trees and coconuts. As you can see, this is a beautiful design. However, it's another very common one. But I promise you've more than likely not seen anything else added in this video. That being said, these palm trees are made possible using the ancient debris block. Now, I know what you're thinking, Z. These are a very rare block. Yes, that's true. If you're in survival mode, you are not going to be building palm trees. I'm sorry, but you're just not. At least not with this block. However, if you are in creative mode, like me, then you can actually build these beautiful palm trees with this block. The side texture makes for a perfect palm tree block. Another feature is that coconuts are now able to be done using flower pots. Unfortunately, they're floating, but that's okay because it means it's not going to fall and drop on your head anytime soon. Now, the way this works and the reason it's new now is because the bottom is actually covered, whereas before, and unfortunately it still kind of is, it was open. Whenever you place anything in there, it opens up. Hopefully that is fixed, but until then, we've got floating coconuts. I personally like this design a little bit better, but, I guess this works too. Before we get into the structures of this particular update, I figured we'd go over some food decorations that can make your food market stand out. This one is absolutely terrifying, and it comes from a Reddit user known as Nitro Hydro Ray, who came up with a really cool hanging squid using the weeping vines of course wool and a red nether brick wall. Honestly, I think this is absolutely terrifying, but it's perfect if you're building some sort of fish market. I think it looks good. I definitely would not be the fastest player to this food stand, but that's okay. Maybe if they had barrels of food like berries or, sweet berries or maybe even oranges, then I probably would be a customer, but I don't know so much about the hanging squid. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Next up, we've got none other than a couple of wall designs. Keep your privacy and security rock solid with these amazing wall designs using the new blocks. Honestly, I love the way these look. As you can see, we have the warped and crimson planks as well as the netherite and basalt blocks here in the back to create a really nice set of gates and walls. Now, as you can see with the crimson and warped, we have the doors, trapdoors, slabs, and stripped variants of these particular blocks. And honestly, I think they look fantastic, with this one being particularly my favorite. But if we go in the back, we've actually got a really nice wall for some sort of castle, especially in the nether, using basalt going upright and then cauldrons to follow with anvils on top and netherite on top of the pillars. I think this looks amazing. Even if you do not have the concrete behind it, it still looks good. In fact, this would be a very nice design for some sort of bridge. But of course, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Next up, we are getting to the good stuff. These are a couple of different ways that building has actually been updated using the new blocks. Now, honestly, Minecraft 1.16, even though we're only into one snapshot, has added a very large collection of new blocks that allow us to do so many new things with building. Now, if you want to know all of the features, make sure to click my video, which is in the top corner. You can click the iCard to see every single feature added in the last snapshot. But that being said, using these blocks, I've created some really cool stuff. So let's get into it with this first one, which is Shingles. Now, this one I actually did get inspired by my good friend B00 once again to use this particular block. It was him who discovered this. You can essentially use the top part of the basalt block, which as you can see, you can actually rotate it, similarly to wood, to replicate that of Shingles, which honestly, I think it looks amazing. Now, I'm not really one to like to build with the top part of a block or one specific side of a texture, but honestly, because of the placement of your viewing angle, I think this works perfectly. I mean, you really can't see the top parts of this particular set of blocks at all. And even though we've got it on the front, it sort of acts like a trim. And I think for that reason, it looks amazing. And honestly, I'm very excited to see what people do with this. I really like the way it looks paired with sandstone. As you can see, this is a very adorable house. It's a little bit more up to date as well if you're trying to build medieval instead of getting, or I guess if you want to get out of the wood roof types, then you can go with something like this to go into the next era. And honestly, I think it works very well. But that being said, let's move on to the next building tip and trick, which is none other than shining windows, but also a good example at an amazing tower that you can build using these new blocks. Now, back to the shining window. As you can see, I've got shroom light currently being used as a window. Unfortunately, there's not really a good mechanical use to this because obviously you cannot see through the shroom light. However, if you're building exclusively exterior only buildings, then you can use shroom light to make it look like the glass is shining because activity and life is happening on the inside. I think this looks amazing, especially at nighttime. It really makes the interior pop and makes it feel like someone's actually in there. Now, as you can see, this is accompanied by a beautiful tower design that I think should definitely serve as inspiration because there are so many different things happening here, yet it all still comes together very nicely. All of this is something we really could not do before, so I am very happy with all of the new blocks because this is now possible. Now, I'm not really going to go through and explain every little detail here, but as you can see, there is a lot going on. So feel free to take a little example of this, get inspired, and build your own castle using this design. If you do so, make sure to share it to me on Twitter. There's a link in the description below for that. And last, but certainly not least, we are yet again taking a look at all of the new blocks in action. This house is extraordinarily messy. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand. But this is a fantasy house, and this is something we really could not do before. There are so many different ways to use these new blocks, and fantasy is definitely one of the big ways. As you can see, we've got the new crimson block here on the side portion of the building, whereas the main A-frame tower is, of course, the warped block, and the ancient debris is a nice accent wall that acts as some sort of stone or brick entryway. I think that looks amazing. They've all come together so nicely. On the blue side, we've even got the new warp trap doors as shutters. We've got the new plants out front, accompanied with a beautiful garden and, of course, a chimney on the back, and, of course, a porch on the side. Now, this is obviously something we've been able to do, but this actually uses the ancient debris again as foundation, which I think is amazing. We've even got the blue lanterns, which go perfectly with my iron bar chain design, which of course you can download from my website as a resource pack. But I think this looks amazing. There are so many different ways to use these new blocks. This is only one example. But I honestly think anything you build with these blocks is going to be very interesting. This is very much a fantasy house, but I very much love it. It's something we could not do before, so I'm very excited to see the direction that Minecraft's future is headed in. But that being said, let me know what you think of all of these build hacks down in the comments below. Which one was your favorite? There are so many different ones to look at, and honestly, there's a lot that I cut from this video. There are so many different ways to just build, it's kind of hard to capture individual build hacks and techniques. But hopefully with all of these, you can get inspired and create your own. And once again, my public Discord is now available to everybody, and if you do want to join, there's a link in the description. I'd love to see all of your different ideas posted through there. I've got a brainstorming channel where you can help me come up with new ideas and all sorts of stuff. That's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that you never miss an upload. And like I said, that's going to be it for today. My name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.